Hello and welcome to the Flourishing Introvert Talks with me, Jo Rawbone. This is the podcast that celebrates the natural gifts of introverts so that we can flourish in all situations. Episode 299, Your Introverted Leader Difference. Last episode, I focused on leading differently and how, in my mind, that meant leading with kindness right now. And kindness might not be top of everyone's list, or maybe you're already doing kindness like a ninja. If that's the case, please carry on. The rest of us are looking on in admiration and catching up. And there's more. So this episode is dedicated to help you uncover your own brand of leadership. And make no mistake, your leadership style is a key component of your personal brand. I guess the point I really want to make through this is that we all, and yes, I do mean all, have leadership potential. In fact, I'll go further than that by saying that we're all demonstrating leadership to some degree or another because we have a responsibility to lead ourselves. I know people don't always think that way, but I'm very clear about the fact that we shouldn't ever be given the responsibility to lead anyone else until we can lead ourselves. And, tough love incoming, that includes parenting in my book. Parenting is a huge responsibility, and I've witnessed far too many people dodge their responsibilities. Is it any wonder that we're in the state we are as a global society? And just a thought, if you're not leading yourself, who have you abdicated that to, and what are you modelling? Time to pick your responsibilities back up. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now, but I'll make no apology or retraction, but it is time to bring it back to the organisational setting now. We know that many introverts hesitate before stepping forward into a leadership role, but I want to remind you that leadership is not bestowed with the title or job description. Leaders are impactful at all levels in an organisation, and often the most effective ones don't hold a management position. Part of the problem for we introverts is that we don't see many role models, so we start to question whether it's even possible for us. Sure, we see plenty of aggressive, driven and egotistical role models, but I for one am not impressed nor inspired by them, and I never want to follow their lead. The ones I follow willingly are the ones that people look to for guidance because they make time for them and have patience. They are the ones who effectively translate a management speak corporate word salad of a vision into something everyone can understand and get behind. They're the ones who protect the underdog when the bullies are looking for a whipping boy. They are our true leaders, not the lily-livered yes-men who are only concerned with their own futures. So how do you find or develop your own unique leadership style? Well, I have a number of different aspects, component parts and attitudes to consider when defining your style. As I share them here, they are in no particular order, so my recommendation is to pick one from the list, work it through until it feels done, and then do the same with another. Simply follow your heart and your intuition, because some will be for you and others not so much. Number 1, redefine leadership in your own words. This is such an important move as it will lead to an approach grounded in your own values and beliefs. That means it will never feel like hard work and you will never feel torn. My approach to leadership is that I am here to serve, and my belief is that will deliver the desired results. What does leadership mean to you? Number 2, build credibility through consistency rather than charisma. Credibility never goes out of fashion, but charisma is very subjective. Some that others find charismatic I find downright creepy and inauthentic. Being your word, knowing your stuff, and not hiding your light enables your credibility to win the day. Number 3, use the power of the pause to command attention without force. There is so much that happens in a pause. It allows time for a perspective to land, for a response to be considered before being uttered, and is a non-verbal way of encouraging someone to continue. As introverts, being okay with silence is one of the gifts we are blessed with, and it's time to make it really work for us. Number 4, influence decisions by asking quiet yet insightful questions. Influencing skills is a topic I have delivered for almost 30 years, and I see the same mistakes being made over and over. Too many of the loud leaders think that influencing is about saying more and saying it persuasively. Influencing is an invitation that starts with insightful questions and great listening. Number 5, cultivate calm authority in moments of chaos. One of the poems I remember being read to me in my childhood was Rudyard Kipling's If, and this first line serves us well. If you can keep your head when all around you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. It reminds us that chaos is out there in the environment and the situation. So we'd do well to keep the chaos out there rather than being had by it. Being unflappable is a wonderful quality, and this was a topic of an episode of my Dropping Pebbles in the Pond, and it had tremendous impact. Number 6, develop relational depth instead of social width. It's so true that it's not about who you know, but how you know them that makes the difference, which for me points to the importance of depth. I don't do shallow and wouldn't want to be associated with shallowness either. So it's depth over width for me when it comes to relationships. Number 7, let your listening be your loudest leadership act. The real art here comes from one small shift. Listen to understand, not just to respond. I learned this from Stephen Covey many moons ago, and it still remains one of the top skills for leadership success. It requires time and devoted attention. We cannot listen effectively and do anything else. And if you think you can, crack on, but you're deluding yourself. Number 8, master reflective communication. One of the exercises I do with juniors when we're looking at communication skills is to be mindful of the channel or method we are using and the associated interference. And because the responsibility for understanding rests with the sender more than the receiver, we need to check that our message has been received as intended. This is clearly a case of clarity over volume. Number 9, protect your thinking time like it is a leadership meeting. Because it is. It's a meeting with yourself, and in these times of rush, rush, hurry, hurry, taking time to think is a necessary strategy. It also adds to the sense of calm, which, because behaviour breeds behaviour, calms other people too. Number 10, lead meetings with clarity and boundaries. I can't stress enough how important it is to provide a meaningful agenda and allow sufficient preparation time before a meeting. If these are missing, we'll likely hear loads from the extroverts who are good with spontaneity, but far less from the introverted ones who need to think things through. Number 11, share insights and updates when they matter, not when it's fashionable. Great leaders are intentional about their communication and do not subscribe to the knowledge is power principle. They are not bandwagon jumpers. Of course, there may always be things that can't be shared, but they won't hold back unnecessarily. Number 12. Maximize your observation skills and reflective nature. You can use these to anticipate challenges that others miss. Many introverts have highly attuned sensory acuity, which means they notice subtle shifts in mood, dynamics, and energy long before they become obvious to others. This gives us such an advantage when it comes to leadership, as we can be ahead of the curve. Number 13. Use empathy as your quiet superpower. I just had to add this, as one of the biggest bro leaders of our time has said, and I quote, "The fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy." He's partly right, because there isn't nearly enough of it, but he didn't mean it that way. Empathy is often the forerunner to kindness. Number 14, model energy management as leadership hygiene. There is a well-known saying which says you can't pour from an empty cup, and topping it up with caffeine is not self-care. Sustainable leadership starts with protecting your own energy, which also models to others how they can do the same. Finally, number 15, make peace with being underestimated and then exceed expectations. Until the bias shifts, most of us are going to be faced with being underestimated. Personally, I love it when that happens, as it gives me the chance to blow their tiny minds. I have done this since my early 20s and I never tire of it. And in a world of braggers who underdeliver, it makes me quite the exception. And I like that. There we have 15 of the most powerful things to consider when you're designing your own unique leadership style. And of course, the list isn't exhaustive. Remember, there is no one-size-fits-all leadership style, despite what the outdated leadership courses promote. Oh, and this isn't a once-and-done process, as we're constantly evolving and need to consider how we remain relevant as leaders. The only thing that really matters is that your style aligns with your values and enables you to sleep well at night. And it always starts with how you lead yourself. Fortunately, there is space in this world for your unique style of leadership, and where better to start demonstrating it than right where you are. And if it surprises a few, good. The pushy, flashy, cushy brigade, the irrelevant ones who are not inclusive in their approach, need to be awoken from their slumber, and we're just the ones to do that. Ready? I know I am. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, then please subscribe, rate us and leave a comment, because we know that helps other people find the podcast. And if other people find us, other introverts can flourish.
You are listening to an Intentional Media Production podcast.